I'd like to call to order the June 17th MSD of Steuben County Board of Trustees regular business meeting. If we could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. First up, patron comments. Did we have anyone sign up? No comments? All right. Next, approval of minutes. We've all received the minutes from May 20th regular meeting and the June 4th executive session. Any questions, comments on minutes? If not, do we have a motion?
Motion to accept the meeting minutes as presented.
And the vote, please?
Mr. Archbold,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Mag,
Yes.
Mr. Poor,
Hey.
Mr. Ridenour,
Yes.
Mr. Surrey.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Approval of claims. Any questions, comments regarding our claims? If not, do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
And the vote, please?
Mr. Archbold,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes.
Mr. Poor,
Aye.
Mr. Ridenour,
Yes.
Mr. Surrey.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries 7-0. Personnel considerations. Dr. Wiedenhofer.
Board, in your package, you do have personnel considerations for this evening. There are resignations, appointments, reassignments, and a change in employment status. So I ask that you approve those recommendations as presented.
Do we have a motion?
I make a motion, we go ahead and approve as presented.
I'll second that.
And the vote, please?
Mr. Archbold,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes.
Mr. Poor,
Aye.
Mr. Ridenour,
Yes.
Mr. Surrey.
Yes.
All right. Now, special reports. Annual food service report. Ms. Marshall.
Good evening, Board. I would just like to give you a little bit of a review of some events that happened this school year for food service. Our student body for the 2024-2025 school year was determined to be 53% free or reduced eligible for meal assistance. And that number has stayed pretty steady the last few years, so it's not increasing or decreasing much. I think last year it was like 54%. So we're staying pretty steady right at that 53% mark. The federal reimbursement rate was increased for this school year as well. We received 11 cents more for breakfast served and 18 cents more for lunches served, and that is for the free and reduced students. Was that increase. We had a decrease in our student participation this year, unfortunately. We served just over 77,000 breakfasts and a little over 265,000 lunches, which that seems like a lot, but it was a 6% decrease for breakfast and 11% decrease for lunch. So one of the goals that we do have for this upcoming year is to increase that participation. We did not receive USDA funds, or also known as supply chain assistance. Supply chain assistance was originally came about like during COVID, and that was to help with the increase in food costs and supply issues that we were having. So since we don't really have that much anymore, they've gone away with those funds, and so we don't anticipate receiving any more of those. But we do continue to utilize our government commodities, which does help with the continuing increase in food costs, as we all know. We are operating our summer food program right now at Carlin Park. We offer breakfast and lunch every day, Monday through Friday, and we will operate that until July 23rd. Our summer school participants were able to partake in that, and we also have the ELC program is also able to partake in that as well. All of our food service staff received the necessary professional development for this year. And just a few goals that we have for the upcoming year. Like I said, we want to increase participation, hoping to do that by offering more variety on our menus. We've tried a few things this year. The girls have done a great job at implementing some of them. We've had some hits, and we've also had some that they didn't like so much. So we'll remove those from the menu. And then we'll also continue to work on staffing. So that's about all I have, other than to thank you guys so much, board, for your continued support of our program. It means a lot to be able to feed the kiddos and fill their bellies so they can concentrate on education and being an active participant in class instead of worrying about, a rumbly tummy or where their next meal is going to come from. So, any questions?
How's your summer norms?
We're actually having record numbers for this year. We served over 250 while summer school was in session at Carlin Park, and we've never served that many before. And just the other day, summer school is no longer in session. We served 162 for lunch. So, yeah, we're excited about that and hoping that that will also help increase participation for this next year.
See the kids walking back on the way home from lunch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's doing really well.
Okay, now, is there something on Friday that some of those kids can have for the weekend if they don't have it?
I believe there is a summer backpack program that's supplying food, but that is not through food service, so I don't really know much about that.
Not about COVID, we would send extra food.
No, during COVID, it was more like it would still be the summer feed. You just come and pick up your food because you couldn't eat it all together.
What ages are coming? All ages?
I believe so, yeah. Not so much high school, probably more that kindergarten to 5th or 6th grade age. I know we have some 6th graders at the ELC, so we have some of them coming. But yeah, I think it's more of that kind of elementary to early junior high. We don't really see many high schoolers. They do not have to, no. Thank you.
Next, we have teacher evaluations. Dr. Relu.
Board, you have a very brief memo from me. We are required each year to report to you the end-of-year teacher evaluation scores. You'll see this year we had one teacher who was on improvement necessary. That teacher has since resigned. We have 50 teachers who are effective and 68 teachers who are highly effective. So that's more highly effective teachers kind of year over year. So we're excited to see that as professional development continues and teachers are continuing to work on their craft. We really are seeing improvements in the classroom, which is exciting to show up in their evaluations also. Not every teacher is represented here. If we have teachers who are on leave during part of the year, their evaluations are not finalized for this year because they were on leave. So there are some, if you're looking at the number of teachers going, don't we have more teachers than that? We do, but that's why. I had to question that myself and I had to go check that out.
Any other questions? And we will move on to the YMCA swimming lessons. Dr. Relu.
I'm gonna move. There we go. So I want to start by thanking Kelly Bailey. She is the aquatics director at the YMCA. She had hoped to be able to be with us tonight, but she had a family situation come up. Kelly worked tirelessly planning this program. We had every second grader invited to participate. We only had a few whose families opted for them not to participate. But Kelly made sure that there were swim shirts that were sponsored by Cameron Hospital available in that bright orange color that you see. That allowed every student to have the same shirt, so everyone kind of had the same look when they were in the pool, but also the bright orange color made sure everyone was very visible in the water, so for safety reasons, and obviously that can carry into lake season, and again, where we're working to make sure our students are safe. Kelly also received donations for swimsuits, so any student who didn't have a swimsuit when we did their permission slip. She was able to provide those to students. She had them on hand, so if somebody came without one, she was ready to go with that also. In addition, she wrote grants to be able to fund all of the staff for the programming and any expenses for the program. So over the next, during each of the 2 weeks that the schools went, they had daily 30-minute lessons in the water. They had 8 days that they were in the pool, and then they had 2 days where all the second graders gathered for what we called land days. And those are the days that they spent really focusing in on the safety around water program that the Y teaches throughout the year. But so all of our second grade students, even those that didn't participate in the swimming lessons, participated in the safety around water program. We also had Fort Wayne Metals sponsor swim bags, so every student was able to keep their swimsuit at the Y each day. So they were named and they were hung to dry every day, and students came back and their stuff was ready to go, and they were able to take those bags with them. Y also made sure that we brought towels the first day. We decided it wasn't worth having the kids bring towels because figuring out whose towel was who and getting them back and traveling. So they took it upon themselves to just provide towels after that first group on the first day. And they washed and dried the towels every day for students, so they would just be there ready to pick up as they went into the locker room, and that was a beautiful thing. They also made sure that they had a checklist of skills that the students were working on each day. The classroom teachers stayed on deck with an assistant and other people who could be there to help, checking off skills for each group as the students completed those. And they worked really hard to make sure that they were adjusting those groups each day. They also visited other YMCA programs to learn all they could about running a safe and successful program so they could make that happen for us. And just like we do at school, they really monitored and improved all along the way. But I wanted to share with you some of the information that teachers shared with us. So our first class was actually our applied skills class at Ryan Park. So they had one-to-one teachers, so every student was with an instructor one-on-one. They also had teachers who participated, instructors who participated in special training, working with special needs students. The Ryan Park staff, I could not have thanked them more. They jumped into the water. They were on deck helping. They were in the pool helping. They got all their kids redressed and ready to hop back onto the bus at the end of the day, and they just did a fantastic job. And it was so exciting to see the smiles on the faces. I don't know if you can see that smile, but ooh, it was so fun. That was a great day. And I think the best way for you to hear about the program is to hear the quotes from the second grade teachers. So I asked them for feedback at the end of the program and suggestions for next year. So as you continue to look at some pictures, I'm going to share what they had to say. So I think the whole program was well run, worthwhile, and fun. The data was well kept, adults were friendly, helpful, and plentiful. Groups were kept small and were updated daily according to levels and goals. Instructors were knowledgeable of goals, and they were intentional with delivery of teaching of skills. Although there was apprehension at first, all kids grew in swimming safety and loved the experience. Make every effort to keep this program going. Also, bus drivers did a great job. I personally think swim went amazing. The kids loved it, and I really enjoyed watching them excel each day. I thought it was well organized, and we had plenty of time getting to and from. In my experience, I wouldn't change a thing. I'll be honest. At first, I was very hesitant about taking my students to the YMCA daily, but it turned out to be one of my favorite things. It was so organized with tons of help. I also thought it was very neat to see some students who don't normally excel at academics excelling at swimming. I appreciated Kelly's nightly emails telling us what colored group students would be in the next day. I appreciated the help from staff members to take the students into the changing areas, especially with so many girls. It was nice to have help. The students changed a lot faster than I thought they were going to be able to do. Leaving at 8 became no issue because it was a routine for my class. I liked the students having smaller groups in the pool so they all got attention. I honestly wouldn't change anything. I liked going at 8, and I really liked going in the spring because I knew my students well enough. And if we could do it exactly the same next year that we did this year, I want to take my second graders again. I loved the lessons. They were great. and such an amazing partnership. My students loved going. I thought swim lessons were amazing. The YMCA was super organized. I loved the way they had skills checklists and differentiated for the kids each day. I'll be honest with you, I thought it was going to be a horrible experience. That is where my mind always goes. But it was a wonderful experience for my students and myself. There were enough volunteers to help. It was well organized. The students made progress throughout the week and they had fun. I personally think swim lessons went amazing. The kids loved it and I really enjoyed watching them excel each day. I thought it was well organized and we had plenty of time to get to and from. In my experience, I wouldn't change a thing. We loved it. The YMCA staff were well prepared and organized. It was nice that shirts, towels, and bags were provided. The kids picked up so many new skills in the 2 weeks that we were there. I think the whole program was well run, worthwhile, and fun. The data was well kept, adults were friendly, instructors were knowledgeable of the goals, and although there was apprehension at first, all kids grew in swimming and safety. Our first year was a success. So I loved hearing from the teachers, being able to watch the kids, it was awesome. So I want to thank you for approving this opportunity for our students. I think it was just a couple months ago, a year ago, that you approved for us to move forward in planning this program and getting it up and running. And we started working with the teachers and really had an awesome experience. And we absolutely plan to continue next year with your approval. And the Y is already working on just continuing to make things better and work on funding for next year. Any questions I can answer for anyone? So the Y is always looking for lifeguards. So they asked if we had any students that would be interested in that. There is a lifeguarding PE class that we can offer. So we have a few high school students who've said they're interested in that. Trine also has students that are interested in participating in a lifeguarding class at Trine. So the Y is working now to figure out a schedule where we can get those students together, get them through that program and get more lifeguards certified that can serve anywhere in our community. So just being able to continue conversation with the Y and continue to partner with them on ways we can help the community, we're really excited about that. I think 176.
There was 176 kids each day there?
No, in total, all with all the second graders. So it was one class at a time in the pool, and they were really tightly scheduled. So as one group was getting out of the pool, well, one group was in the pool, the next group was in the locker room changing. When they came out, this group came out of the pool, went into the locker room, that group was in the pool, and we had 3 classes a day there. That rotation works like that. So it was really about an hour and a half total time in the water for the instructors on the days that they had 3 classes there. When we did the applied skills class, the emotional disabilities class, we also did Pleasant Lake, just since it was one class by itself. We had about an hour total in between each one of those classes, just because we wanted to make sure there was plenty of time if we had, any extra need for more time that it was available.
How many days in that 2 weeks do they go? Each, like, say, class A, how many times do they go?
So they were in the water 4 days a week. The Y came to the school 1 day a week to meet with all of the second graders for 30 minutes to do the water safety class. And then the next week, same schedule. So on Wednesdays, when we had our 1 hour delay, we didn't go to them, they came to us.
So they were taken from the school.
Yes, so our transportation department bussed them there and ran back and got the next group and ran the loop.
So in all, they had about 4 hours in the water, 1 hour.
Yes, yes.
And, right, did other schools, this other area schools?
It was just our schools.
Did you say you had parents opt out?
We did have a few parents opt out. They did. Yes,
See, the state, one of the basic skills.
yes.
One way,
Exactly.
That's right, that was the point you made last year.
All right, thank you. Old business, MSD classified handbook, second reading. Mr. Wagner?
Thank you, Board. There aren't any changes from the first reading that I presented, so if we're good, then I'd like to see if you could vote on it tonight, as presented.
Any questions, comments? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the MSD County Classified Handbooks.
I'll second that.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes?
Mr.
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour,
Yes.
Mr. Sturry.
Yes.
All right, motion carries 7-0. Thank you. New business, renewal of contract with CS3. Dr. Wiedenhofer.
Board, in your packet, you do have a contract for services agreement between CS3, that's Comprehensive Systems of Support for Schools, and MSD of Steuben County. This is Dr. Penrod's contract. We bring it to you annually. He provides those CFO services along with bond services to us. So we bring it to you on a yearly basis just for renewal. So I ask for you to approve that as presented tonight.
Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes.
Mr. Poor,
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour,
Yes.
Mr. Sturry.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries 7-0. Next up, food service vendor, Mrs. Parshall.
Good evening again. So a few months ago, I was here asking for approval to continue working with the Food to School Cooperative, and they just help with our procurement of bids for, that we purchase our food with. So tonight, I'm here to ask approval of those vendors that we've selected. I am not asking to change anything from what we've done with the previous school year. So I would just like to request approval of Gordon's Food Service. They're who we purchase most of our groceries through. Alpha Bakery, who does our bread products, and then Prairie Farms, who is our milk. So I would like to request approval of those vendors.
Do we have a motion?
Make a motion that we go ahead and approve food service vendors.
I'll second that.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes?
Mr. Poor,
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour,
Yes.
Mr. Sturry.
Yes.
Thank you. Future meetings. Unless otherwise noted, all meetings will be conducted here at 6 PM in the McCutcheon Center Boardroom, July 15th, August 19th, and September 16th. 15th? Oh, do you? Then I typed wrong.
No, it's,
No, it's August 19th.
oh, yeah, no.
Jeez, Becky.
Update the last one sent out.
August 15th. Does that not say
It does, it does.
We will get that corrected,
Yes.
but it is the 19th.
And superintendent's report.
I'm hesitant to even go right now.
Keep it short.
Yeah. Just a couple of things to report out to you, Board. In June, we got a nice little congratulations to the Angola Middle School Band for their all-state recognition as one of the best bands in the land. This time, we get congratulations to our high school band and their all-state recognition. So they came out a little bit about a month apart, so we want to recognize them and tell them outstanding. The directors under Shanna Lank and Bob Myers are just outstanding. That band is phenomenal, and they do a great job. We look forward to hearing them here in the following weeks. Also, congratulations to all of our graduates that just graduated. It got a little dicey there at the end. I think we got through graduation in record time. Parents, I got a couple of great compliments and emails and phone calls about that, so we're excited to be able to provide those outdoor activities. I think no sooner did we got them in, here came the rainstorm, so moms and dads scurried pretty quick to cars, but all in all, went around pretty well. And then lastly, you see her sitting in the audience today, so I want to recognize Kathy Barr, our longtime special ed coordinator. This is her last school board meeting, so her last day is June 30th, and she has been kind of winding down a little bit her time. I don't know if she'll be able to get her office all cleaned out by the end of next year, yes, it's an ongoing project, isn't it? So lots of good memories there, so we've had a chance to do that. So I want to tell her thank you for your service, and we wish you best of luck in the summer months. And I think I'm going to get out of here while it getting's good, so board, I have nothing else here.
Board member communication. Congratulations, Kathy. Enjoy.
A big thank you to all the volunteers that helped with the swim program this past year, and everybody that made donations to that, so hope we can continue that on in the future.
There's nothing more before the board. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion, we adjourn?